welcome to Tech Venture. So today, we're back with the Google Pixel 6. Not the Pro just yet. For some unknown reason, that hasn't come in yet. But we're going to do with what we got. And I got some bad things, of course. And I got some good things. And like always, we'll start with the bad things. The first thing I want to talk about is the lack of cameras. So yes, there's 2. And the Pro does get 3. But we are in, 2020 and almost, 2021, almost 2022. And they only give you these 2 cameras. Now, they're not bad cameras, but, I mean, you would want more, especially in a 2021 phone. And yes, people could argue 12 mini, 13 mini also have 2 cameras, but come on now. Yeah, that's for those phones too. But anyways, another thing is, so the camera bump, of course, a lot of people don't like, and a lot of people think is ridiculous. But there's 2 good things about it that you could say to those people is if you put it down, nothing at all. It's not jiggling, which is, I guess you can say it's kind of good, but I mean, it's there. It is there. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty high. It's pretty thick. I don't know if you can see it on the camera there, but it is pretty thick there. Yeah. Another thing is, so you only get 2 options for memory. You get the 128 and the 256, which, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, if you have Google Photos and all that stuff, you can just save your stuff there. Also, Google Drive, or Google One, that also allows you to save some stuff there and take it off your phone. So I guess you can go from there. And another thing is we lost the squeeze feature, which is something I would have loved to see on this, especially that they brought it for the Google Pixel 4 and the 4 XL, where you just squeeze and Google would show up. That was really cool. Now they just switched it to the power button. You just hold the power button again, or you just hold the power button, and that's when Google shows up. To turn it off, though, you just press the volume up and the power button. That's how you turn it off. Now, you could switch that, by the way. If you don't like that, you are allowed to switch it. Yeah, but going back to the camera, so with low light pictures, that was actually pretty okay, and the camera was pretty okay with pictures. But when it comes to videos, for some reason in low light, it was really grainy. It was more grainy than usual. Like if you compared it to the iPhone 13 Pro Max, the video quality was a little bit better on the Pro Max, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it wasn't bad on this one, but the 12 Pro Max, or the 13 Pro Max was a little bit better. And then in low light, this was grainy, especially when there was barely any light. But I mean, the videos will do. They weren't like super bad to where you're like, oh, I'm not gonna ever take videos ever again with it. But I do have to say that was something I noticed. But yeah, that is pretty much all the bad things about it. Moving on to the good things. And the first thing I want to talk about is how it looks. Now, I said this in the first video. A lot of people have been controversy about this. Like, it's ugly. It has a bump. It looks like RoboCop or even Cyclops. But I actually kind of like it. I think it's a sleek design, especially with the 2-tone colors here. Not a lot of phones do that. And you can argue the iPhones have 2 colors, the color here and the color there, but it's still technically the same color. But I do like how they have 2 different colors there. And I like their names too. Like, this is a Seafoam. Sorta Seafoam, which I would see it, because this is kind of like a light bluish and then a green right here. On the camera, I know this looks yellow, but it's almost yellow, yes, but it has a hint of green in it. But yeah, I really like that, as well as the speakers. So you get stereo speakers, one right here in the sliver, as well as one down here as well. So the stereo speakers was actually really, really good, and it actually sounded like stereo speakers. Like, most other phones are just really loud because it has stereo speakers. This one, you felt like it was going around you, or like really loud to where it was like going like that, which I really enjoyed. And especially when you're watching a video, it works best when you're watching a video. And then, of course, moving to the camera is ridiculous, especially pictures. Pictures blows most phones out of the water. And then my favorite features about the pictures is, obviously, everyone heard about this, is Magic Eraser, which Magic Eraser, what it does is it automatically detects like people or things in the background that will, that will annoy you, and then you can remove it. And the best part is, even though you can remove a person, the shadow still shows. Yes, it doesn't automatically remove that. You do have to highlight it yourself, but if you highlight the shadow of the person or the object you're trying to remove, it will actually also remove the shadow, which is really cool. I did have a picture here that I took in, let me pull it up, that I took in Chick-fil-A. I'm gonna show you here. Here it is right here. If you come closer. So right here, as you can see, there is a sign and then napkins. So I did remove those in this picture. It looks like I just removed them off the table, but I did use the magic eraser for those, which is really, really cool. I think it did a pretty good job. Like, it is a little bit blurry. If you zoom in right here where they were, it is a little, disorienting or disoriented. And it does look like there's something going on there. But if you aren't looking for that, it looks pretty good. I liked it. Now, another thing is reverse wireless charging. So you do get wireless charging on here as well as reverse, but they don't call it reverse wireless charging. They call it share. It's share or battery share. So you turn it on. It doesn't make a ding like the Samsung did. And then you'll just put whatever you want on there and it will start charging, which is cool, especially on a non-pro phone, I guess you could say. This is their non-pro phone. And then as well as the size. So this is a non-pro phone, but it is a 6.4-inch screen, which is amazing. I kind of like that. The screen is actually really good too. And as much as I thought this hole punch would kind of annoy me, it did not annoy me. You could barely realize it was there. Especially when you're watching videos, because obviously the videos don't get to there. So it does cut off right before it, which is a good thing, because you don't have to really look at it when you're watching videos. But another thing is, so there's something called screen call, which is something Google has had before, but it's also on this one, where if someone calls you, you can actually have the Google Assistant answer. So like, for example, like say your friend calls you or someone calls you and you don't want to answer them or you don't want to call them at the time, you'll hit this screen call and then it will answer and it will ask them, why are you calling? And then whatever they say shows up on your screen, shows up like, it'll be like the phone call and then it'll show up at the screen right there. And then you'll have options at the bottom. For example, tell me more, or I didn't understand, or something like that. And then it will, continue. Now, if you press hang up, it will actually tell him, hey, he can't talk right now. Please call again. Or if you hit, I'll call you later, it will tell him, hey, he or she can't get to the phone right now. They'll call you back later. Or if you just answer, it'll say connecting you now. Get ready, and then you'll answer, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I thought that was amazing. I used it quite a lot, and it works very well with the scam. So scam people, you can just hit, and then it will. If you hear the hey, we're trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty, just hang up right away. Don't even care. But yeah, and while we're in the esque of that, there is something else. It's called not Magic Eraser. It's called Now Playing. Yeah, Now Playing. So what it does is, no matter if the phone is locked or unlocked, if something is playing in the background, like say you're in the store and there's music playing, it will actually pull it up and show you at the bottom, as well as it will show up in like a list in the settings. You can also put an app down for it, but where all the songs it's heard, and it will just do it like slowly in the background. Like you don't even have to worry about it. Like I know with Shazam, you got to download it for a phone or even press on it to actually get the song, but this just keeps on going. And yes, some people might say, oh, it's always listening, but I mean, what isn't listening at this time? Everything's listening, smart speakers, TVs, all your phones. So honestly, it's just a cool feature at this point, that it's just listening for songs. And sometimes it's really cool, especially when you're in, like, say you're in a store and they're playing something that you heard and you're like, I don't know what this is. Later, you just open up the phone, there it is, boom, you got it. So I really like that. And then also, so you get 8 gigabytes of RAM on here, which is not also a Pro phone. With the 13s, you get 6 gigabytes of RAM, or 4 gigabytes of RAM, sorry. And then with the 13 Pro Max and the 13 Pro, you get 6. So this is not even their Pro phone, and you get 8 there. So I thought that was a big plus there. I really liked it. And then moves me to my last point, which is the under-screen fingerprint. Now, it is a little bit slower than if it was an actual fingerprint on the back, like the Google Pixel 3 as well as on the side, like the Google or the Samsung Galaxy Flip and Fold and all that. But honestly, I liked it, especially how like your hand rests there when you're picking it up. Your hand's already there, so you just put it down. As well as my favorite part, it worked if the phone was off. So if it's off, you just put your hand there, and it instantly starts to read the your fingerprint and opens up. And yeah, I really love that about that as well. I know some people don't like the under screen fingerprint reader, but I loved it. And the whole time I was using this phone, I loved it as well. Oh, and I almost forgot the battery life. So the battery life on this is ridiculous. Yes, you get the Google Tensor chip, which is obviously if you have a chip made by the people who made the software, M1 chip, you know, all that stuff. You get a ridiculous amount of battery life because they work together in harmony, and you know, you get the best of both worlds from there. And yeah, so most of the time, by the end of the day, if I really use the phone, I'd get like 24%. I never was able to kill the phone, unless obviously if you probably just turned on the camera and just kept it there recording 4K, I'm pretty sure you'd kill it then. But in just like normal use, like Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff, as well as record videos, pictures, all that, and then GPS, that did still, I couldn't get it to die. It was ridiculous on the battery life, which I really loved, because most Androids don't really you know, live the whole day, but this one did, and I liked it. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Would I recommend it? Yes, especially this one, the non-pro one, just the Google Pixel 6. Yes, it's only $599. So I would highly recommend it, especially if you are into the Google phones. I know Google Pixel has been known for pictures back in the day as well, from the Google Pixel 2 all the way to now. So yeah, I would recommend this. I loved the time I was using it, and it was honestly amazing. And like I said, the bad things at the beginning were only things I've noticed while using it that you kind of just notice. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. You have a great day or night whenever you're watching this.